All right, buckle up, folks, because today we're diving headfirst into something seriously wild.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
You guys sent over a bunch of articles and forum threads about this thing called Fallout London, and let me tell you,
I've seen it.
this is next level stuff.
Yeah, we're not talking about just like tweaking a few things here and there, right?
Oh, no, no.
This is what's called a total conversion mod. Basically, they took Fallout 4's engine, all the tools, and built a whole new game on top of
Well,
it.
I know. Like, I knew modding was a thing, but this is practically Fallout 4 in disguise. Except, hold on to your crumpets, because instead of the American wasteland we're used to,
Scuttling across the pond.
we're talking London.
Yeah.
Moved out London. Decades before any of the other Fallout games we've seen.
And the sheer scale of this thing is mind-blowing.
Oh, tell me about it.
Imagine a map the size of Fallout 4's Boston, but swap out those skyscrapers for Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, all the iconic London landmarks. Totally new quests, factions you've never heard of, lore that's specific to Britain. It's
Right.
massive.
Okay, so for our listeners who maybe haven't dipped their toes into the modding world, can you give us the quick rundown on what Fallout London actually is? Like, paint the picture for us.
All right, so picture this. It's the 2050s, the bombs have dropped, but instead of that familiar American wasteland,
Right. Yeah.
we're in London. No death claws, no super mutants. This is a whole different beast, a very British beast.
And from what I've seen, they've really leaned into that Britishness, haven't they? Even the usual Fallout enemies have been swapped out for stuff pulled straight from British folklore, right?
They did their research, that's for sure. I mean, even the interface has been redesigned to look like those old Protect and Survive pamphlets from the 70s. Remember those?
Oh, absolutely. Those little details are what really sell it for me. But let's talk about the people behind this. This wasn't just some weekend project, right?
Not at all. The article mentioned this thing was in development for like 5 years.
5 years. And get this. It was all done by volunteers. We're talking over 100 modders, another 100 voice actors. That's some serious dedication.
Talk about passion projects, right? And as if 5 years wasn't enough, right before they were about to release it,
Talk about bad timing.
Bethesda drops that big next-gen update for Fallout 4.
Which, of course, messed with everything.
It's like they were building this incredibly intricate Lego creation, and Lego suddenly decided to change the size of all the bricks.
Oh, the horror.
But in true British fashion, the team persevered. They managed to adapt, make it work, and I think that just speaks to their dedication and, frankly, their talent.
That's incredible. Okay, so let's say someone is listening to this and thinking, I need to play this, like right now. How do they actually get it up and running? I know one of the articles mentioned GOG being the easiest way to go about it.
Yeah, if you've got Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition on GOG, you're in luck. Install the game, head over to GOG, download the mod for free, and boom, you're exploring post-nuclear London.
Okay, simple enough. But I know a lot of folks, myself included, probably have Fallout 4 on Steam. What's the process like for them?
Steam's a bit more of a challenge, to be honest. You're going to want to do a clean install of Fallout 4, make sure any other mods you might have are switched off, and then there's this tool that essentially downgrades your game to a previous version.
Sounds complicated.
It can be, but thankfully the modding community's got your back. They've put together some fantastic guides to walk you through the process step by step, and of course we'll link to those in the show notes.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. And while we're at it, we should probably include that fix for the long loading time some people were having, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's a must-have. All right. So let's imagine we've jumped through all the hoops, installed everything correctly, we load up the game. What's the first thing that hits us? What makes this feel different from vanilla Fallout 4? The atmosphere. It's immediate and it's intense.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Remember those bleak, almost monochromatic cityscapes from Fallout 3 and 4?
Yeah, those were iconic.
It's that, but with a uniquely British twist. You've got these bombed-out buildings, rubble everywhere, but then you'll stumble upon these preserved underground spaces, like the tube tunnels, that feel like time capsules from before the war.
Chills. So it's not just the visuals, right? Even the way the world feels, the overall vibe.
Yeah.
It's distinct.
Exactly. It's in the details. Take the factions, for example. These aren't just your typical raiders or gunners. They're rooted in British culture, history, and they've adapted to the apocalypse in ways that feel so much more, well, British.
Like what? Give us an example.
Okay, so there's this faction called the Gentry. Basically, they've holed up in a posh part of the London underground and are living this lavish lifestyle, even though the surface world is a wasteland.
So, like, they've gone full-on mole people, but make it fancy.
Pretty much. It's a really clever way of playing with those old class divides that were so ingrained in British society, something you don't really see explored in the American Fallout games.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so we've got the setting, we've got the vibe, but what about the actual gameplay? Does Fallout London just look different, or does it play differently too?
Oh, there are some really clever gameplay changes sprinkled throughout, and that's what we're going to dive into right after the break.
Can't wait.
Welcome back.
So we left off talking about gameplay, and you mentioned some clever changes.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff did you see that really stood out?
All right, are you ready for this? Tinned beans.
In beans.
Everywhere.
What, like baked beans?
Baked beans, kidney beans, all kinds. It's like the go-to food in post-apocalyptic London.
Seriously.
Seriously. It's such a small touch, but it just adds so much to that British feel, you know?
I totally get it. Like, picturing survivors scrounging for beans in the ruins of Tesco is kind of hilarious.
Right. It's great. But it's not just the food. Even the weapons are different.
Oh, yeah, the article mentioned something about that.
No laser muskets here.
So what are we like World War II stuff?
Yeah, you'll find Lee Enfields, Sten guns. But it gets even wilder. They've got repurposed medieval weapons, too.
Wait, hold on. Medieval weapons? Like swords and stuff?
Yeah, but think more, cobbled together.
Frankenstein style.
Exactly, like a sword blade duct taped to a pipe. Makes sense, though, right? If society collapses, you use whatever you can get your hands on.
Oh, yeah, total Mad Max vibes.
Right. Now, when it comes to armor,
Is power armor still a thing?
it exists, but it's rare. Most of what you'll find is, again, that cobbled together style.
Makes sense.
Scrap metal, maybe some old riot gear, even bits of salvaged medieval armor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they really went all in on that resourcefulness theme.
I'm loving it. So it sounds like they really nailed the whole gritty, grounded feel of post-apocalyptic London. But what about the factions? We touched on them a bit earlier, but how do they compare to the ones we're used to in, say, Fallout 4?
Oh, they're way more interesting than your typical raiders.
In what way?
Okay, so there's one called the Gentry. Basically, they have taken over a fancy part of the London underground.
Like a whole station.
Yeah, and they're living it up like it's pre-war London.
So basically rich survivors playing mole people.
Exactly. But it plays into those class divides I was talking about, which adds a whole other layer.
I like it. Any other factions that stand out?
You've got the Tommies, who are these militaristic survivalists, super hardcore.
Oh, like those prepper types, but cranked up to 11.
Precisely. And then there's the fifth column, super secretive, trying to rebuild society, but maybe with some ulterior motives.
Ooh, shady.
Yeah, lots to uncover there. And the cool thing is, you get to decide who you side with.
Nice. So we've got the setting, the gameplay. But what about the story? Is there a main narrative in Fallout London, or is it more like a bunch of side quests?
Oh, there's definitely a main story, and it ties into why your character ends up in London to begin with.
I'm already curious.
Let's just say there's a reason this mod takes place before any of the other Fallout games.
Okay, now I need to know more. So it's got a compelling story, these unique factions, the whole tin beans thing. But let's be real, no game is perfect. Are there any downsides to Fallout London?
Well, since it's built on Fallout 4's engine, it does inherit some of that game's clunkiness.
Oh,
So the combat can feel a little rough at times, and navigating the map can be, well, a bit of a headache.
yeah, Fallout 4 wasn't exactly known for its smooth controls.
But honestly, for a fan-made project of this scale, it's incredible how playable and enjoyable it is.
And people seem to love it.
The reception has been phenomenal. Critics are praising the ambition, the attention to detail.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of positive buzz online.
It's really sparked a conversation about what modding can achieve, which is pretty exciting.
I bet Bethesda is paying attention, like taking notes.
I'm sure they are. Imagine if future Fallout games had official mod support baked in, maybe even some kind of profit sharing with popular mod creators.
No, that would be a game changer.
Right. It would incentivize these talented modders, create a whole new economy around game creation.
And ultimately lead to more diverse, exciting games for everyone.
Exactly. Who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive on a game that started as a mod but blew up so much it got a standalone release and a whole team of developers behind it.
It could happen.
It's already happening. There are tons of examples of games that started as mods and became huge successes. It just shows that talent and innovation can come from anywhere.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who's feeling that spark, whether you're a gamer, a developer, or just someone who loves seeing creativity flourish, Fallout London is more than just a mod. It's a call to action.
It's a reminder that we're not just passively consuming games anymore. We have the power to shape the future of gaming.
And maybe, just maybe, someday we'll be doing a deep dive on your masterpiece. All right, so we're wrapping up our deep dive into Fallout, London, and man, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have, from tinned beans to post-apocalyptic tube tunnels.
But one thing that keeps coming back to me is how this mod is sparking these big conversations about the future of gaming.
Uh-huh.
You know,
It's true. Fallout. London is like this unexpected success story, a testament to what's possible with modding.
exactly. Like if a bunch of volunteers can pull this off in their free time, what could happen if developers and modders started working together more closely right from the start?
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Right. Imagine games being designed with modding in mind from day one.
Almost like giving players official tools to build onto the world the developers created.
Exactly. Like official level design contests, but on a massive scale.
People could be coming up with whole new storylines.
Factions, gameplay mechanics, all getting integrated back into the main game.
It could even go beyond entertainment.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about the educational possibilities. History students building accurate models of ancient Rome, biology students creating these complex ecosystems.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is. It's like this glimpse into a future where games are more than just games.
They're platforms for collaboration, for learning, for pushing the boundaries of creativity.
And it's not just about the future, it's changing how we view games right now.
Yeah, I feel like the line between developer and player is getting blurrier.
And that's exciting.
Totally. For so long, it's been the big studios calling the shots.
But with modding, it's like, hey, you don't like something, change it, make something new.
It's empowering.
And the world is taking notice. Look at the response to Fallout. London, the glowing reviews.
Not just from gaming sites, but mainstream media, too.
It's like everyone is waking up to the potential of modding.
You know, I bet Bethesda is watching all of this very closely.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
What if they released a future Fallout game with official mod support from the get-go? Maybe even some kind of profit sharing with the most popular mod creators.
That would be revolutionary.
It would incentivize talented modders, create a whole new economy around game development.
And ultimately, we'd get richer, more diverse games because of it.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing a deep dive into a game that started as a mod, but became so successful it got a standalone release and a team of professional developers behind it.
That's not just a possibility, it's already happening.
True, there are tons of examples out there.
It just proves that talent and innovation can come from anywhere.
So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired, whether you're a gamer, a developer, or just someone who loves seeing creativity flourish,
Fallout London is more than just a mod, it's a call to action.
it's a reminder that we're not just passive consumers of games. We can actively shape the future of this medium.
So go out there, create something amazing, share it with the world.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing a deep dive on your masterpiece.
That would be incredible.
Well, folks, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of Fallout London.
It's been a fascinating journey.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for modding, for gaming, and for all the talented people out there pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely. If you decide to check out Fallout London for yourself,
Please do.
let us know what you think. Share your experiences, your favorite moments.
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, happy exploring.
And happy modding.